Sentinel is also capable of detecting network threats. Okay. Well, in a typical organization, you will not be having multi-security solution, multi-SIEM solutions rather, or CM solutions. Like for instance, it is unusual for an organization to have Sentinel, CrowdStrike, Splunk, and so on. Okay, pointless. Why? Why would you do this? Okay. Because these are all examples of SIM and SOAR. Sentinel is good in one way. Sentinel has got more data connectors compared to other SIM solutions like CrowdStrike, Splunk, and all. Sentinel can well integrate with existing Microsoft technologies. That is the reason a lot of organizations are gradually transitioning from their other third-party security solutions to Sentinel. Well, having said that, if a particular organization is still using multiple different types of security solutions, or maybe they are in the phase of transitioning, they're having Sentinel as well as CrowdStrike, Splunk, but the objective is to gradually transition. Sentinel has got the capability of ingesting security logs from these kind of different security solutions and gives us a one-stop dashboard. Sentinel is not only about ingesting the security logs from cloud services like SharePoint Online, Teams Online, Entra ID, Azure Activity, Defender for Endpoint, Defender for Identity. It can also ingest the security log from hardware devices. If you have got your hardware-based IDS, intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system, if you're using firewall appliances, Sophos devices, checkpoint solutions, Sentinel can ingest security information from these services as well, from these kind of hardware services as well. Okay. Sentinel is very good in detecting unusual traffic. There are analytics, there are rules in Sentinel which can detect unusual traffic in real time. It can be benign, but at least it will detect the threat and it will let the security professional investigate on that particular threat and accordingly deem that as active or inactive. It's a benign threat or it should be treated as a threat and so on. Sentinel has got analytics rule to detect the command and control communication pattern. Well, command and control, which is basically also known as C2, it is a mechanism with the help of which the intruder, uh, typically outsider, not from inside, will take control on certain devices, certain compromised devices, and control the entire network. So that's command and control. How Sentinel handles this command and control? Well, data connectors. I've told you about the data connectors. What do you mean by data connectors? There is a data connector in Sentinel known as a taxi data connector, TAXII, Trusted Automated Exchange of Intelligent Information. So if you provision those data connectors in Sentinel, you will be able to connect to taxi servers. There are plenty taxi servers available. Some of them are free, some of them are paid services like Limo, Anomaly, Alien Vault, OTX. There are plenty taxi servers available. So what do they do, these taxi servers? They maintain a list of compromised IP addresses, known indicators of compromise like phishing URLs, a list of all, let's say, domains from where has originated in the past. They will also have information about the well-known command and control server domains and attacks, or rather. So if we use the taxi data connector, what it does, it ingests these kind of IOCs, the indicators of compromise from these kind of taxi servers. So if it manages to ingest these kind of indicators of compromise, that means my organization is well aware of the fact which one should be treated as indicator of compromise, which one should not be treated as indicator of compromise. So if it has downloaded, let's say, a list of all the phishing URLs from the taxi server, the moment these kind of phishing URLs are seen within the organization in form of an email, alerts will be generated instantly so that we can take an action. Network scanning and port probing. Network scanning and port probing can be done using tools like Wireshark. We have got Nmap. We have got Port Scanner. The objective is to basically scan the network and look for open ports, weak protocols. Sentinel is very good in detecting these kind of things. As and when these kind of anomalies, like for instance, if I decide to open up, let's say my laptop, I've got enough privileges, so I've decided to install Nmap. N as in network, Nmap. Nmap is an ethical hacking tool with the help of which I can pretty much create a network layout or network structure of my organization. Okay. Um, and if you manage to generate the network map, that means pretty much you know everything about an organizational network, which servers, which IP addresses, their location, and so on. Wireshark does the same thing. It tries to analyze the traffic, look for the open port, it looks for the source IP address, destination IP address. The moment you try to install these kind of things within the organization, uh, then Sentinel will detect these kind of alerts. Well, we understand sometimes during the ethical practice, we are supposed to run these kind of tools. Sometimes we need to run Nmap to design the network architecture. Sometimes we need to run the Wireshark to troubleshoot the communication. But Sentinel will at least detect those kind of threats. Now, in Sentinel, we have got something known as alert suppression rule. So constantly, if I see that alert is generated every time I run a Wireshark, I mean, sometimes what we need to do is we, as a part of our pen testing, as a part of our penetration testing, we need to run some certain attacks. We know that these attacks are intentional, but Sentinel will automatically detect this as an alert. We can create alert suppression rule, and then we can suppress certain alerts. That can be done, but Sentinel will proactively manage this kind of network communication and look for anomalies in the network. So these are the different network threats which can be detected by Sentinel.